have been a lot of romance anime that were released this 2024, but not every single one's a banger. That's why we've compiled the top 10 best romance anime of 2024 so far. Number 10, An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride.
パンなんて買ったか？
いえ、先ほど焼きました。
いや、自分で？
おかしいでしょうか。
わからん。少なくとも俺の周りにこんなうまそうな食事を作れる人間はいなかった。
そうですか。
Starting off our list is an anime that's already has a really long title. It follows our boy Zagan, who was a strong young sorcerer about to join the ranks of the 13 most powerful sorcerers in the world, known as the 13 Archdemons. The only thing he could think of was getting stronger to get to the top, but one day, everything he believed turned upside down, as he discovered what love at first sight really means. And just like any great dude with a single brain cell, he spends everything just to get that rare elf slave.
私はここにいてもいいのですか？
当たり前だろう。あんなうまいものを食わされたんだ。今さらネフィのいない生活など考えられん。
First off, the plot is unique on a whole nother level, and I'm sure the degenerate inside you is liking it a little bit too much. It might have that feeling that it's a bit cringe, but I promise that the humor is super funny and the jokes are top notch. And of course, elf girls. What more would you want? Even though it has a touch of slavery, there's some wholesomeness to it to balance things out. Number 9, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom.
どうすればこれらすべてが終わるのでしょう。
終わらせることができますよ。我々には誰かがやらなきゃいけないんだ。
Gundam's back! And what's better is that it's one of the best in the entire franchise, Gundam Seed. What happens here is that in the year CE 75, the world is at war again because of an independent movement called the Blue Cosmos that is wreaking havoc across the galaxy. To fight them, a peacekeeping force known as Compass is being led by Lacus. More and more fighters join the war, and it's going to be bigger than they initially thought.
子供たちよ、新たな未来へ。
彼女の研究テーマはコーディネーターを超える種を作り出すこと。
This, without a doubt, has the potential to become the best in the entire Seed series. This is saying a lot because that series is a fan favorite, as I've said before. It even makes it a lot more refreshing compared to the other releases, with new groups fighting and a whole new art style that just screams the 90s. Number 8, Tales of Wedding Rings.
あと自身が無理をして強くならなくたっていいの。
それじゃあ俺すげえかっこ悪くない？
佐藤はかっこ悪いままでいいんだよ。
Speaking of anime that have an art style similar to ones in the 90s, we have Tales of Wedding Rings. 10 years before, there was a princess named Crystal Novati Hime Nokanatika, who fled from another universe so that she wouldn't be assassinated. Not only does her nickname literally mean princess, but there must have been some serious stuff going on in her world to force her to go to another universe just to escape.
ちょっとどこ見てんの？
気をつけて。
It might sound serious at first, but little did you know that this is just full of ecchi harem fan service that's gonna capture more of your attention than you initially want. But the good thing about it is that it is a fan service magnet and it embraces it to the core. It pairs it up nicely with the story too, since it has a lot of twists that will blow your mind. Number 7, bottom tier character Tomozaki's second stage.
思うのはさ、葵も特別になるために1位を目指してるんじゃないかって。
それはありえるかもな。耳？
だとしたらちょっと心配なんだよね。
Can you really become top tier in real life? That's the question our boy Tomozaki is trying to answer. He's a godly gamer, but he just sucks at the game of life. But his entire life changes when he meets the second strongest player of the game, TACFam, and he realizes that he can be a gamer and an actually decent person at the same time. With Aoi's help, Tomozaki strives to level up and become a normal member of society.
だから明日はそっちに行ってください。
じゃあこっちの練習は？
それは私が頑張ってみ ます。
This series continues what happened in the first season, and things get even better. There are not a lot of changes when it comes to the cast of the series, and as always, the story just hits the right spot. The pacing is perfect, and it doesn't feel rushed at all. And you can see that Tomozaki is improving, judging by how his looks change over time. Number 6, Urusei Yatsura 2022 second season.
こうやって手にはめてへへふう違うこれじゃない
Were you a big Ranma 1/2 fan? Well, your eyes might light up when you see Urusei Yatsura because they are more alike than every blue-haired anime girl who loses to the blonde girl. In this anime, the world is being invaded by aliens and they leave on the condition that one random human must play tag with Lum, the child of their leader. Unfortunately, our boy named Moroboshi was chosen and he's gonna play a game that's gonna change his life.
ちょっと待つっちゃ。
おっしらばーいやー待った？
待ってないわよ。もういい加減にするっちゃ。ダーリン
Sure, the entire series isn't flawless, but you have to admit that it is really enjoyable to watch. There's a lot of funny moments in this, and I kinda dig the art style. This is also just a remake, and there's an older version of this, and I think they captured the atmosphere perfectly. I also gotta give some acknowledgement to Lum's VA because she nailed it. Number 5, Date Alive 5.
今度は俺からお前の唇を奪ってやる覚悟しておけよマイハニー
It's rare for a romance anime to get a second season, but this one got its 5th. Now, that's gonna show you just how good it is. At this point in the story, our boy Shirao is in even more danger because of his ties with Ratatotusker, even if he's sealed 10 spirits already. Just to kill him, one man, that's crazy enough, starts a full-scale war against Ratatotusker, and that's gonna deal some serious damage.
指導さんから伝言ですわ。好き好き大好き結婚しようマイハニーマイハニーしか会っていないではありませんの
Date Alive survived for 10 years in the anime world, and that's a rare achievement, especially in this genre. Almost every plot and subplot you could think of is here, and there's more. If you want to watch a relaxing show with some cute girls doing some cute girl things, then it's not here. There's a lot of action and fight scenes, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Number 4, 7th Time Loop, the villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy.
わかりました
えいや待て婚約破棄だぞこの後自分がどうなるのか気になるはずだろう
いえ全然
はあ
失礼いたします
If you thought that the first entry had a long title, then this one will blow your mind. Our girl, who has a name that might give me a stroke when I try to say it, is in a situation that she knows all too well. She's gonna be divorced and will be cast aside by her fiance. She already had 6 chances to renew the outcome, but right now things aren't going too well. So what is she gonna do in her 7th run?
そして願わくはどうか俺の妻になってほしい
This is completely different from the other villainous anime because our girl here has already experienced the same thing 6 times. It adds a lot more to the table and it feels like a lot more is at stake. Not to mention the animation is really good and the characters that actually appear feel like they have a role to fulfill. Number 3, A Sign of Affection.
ちゃんと握ってくれてるいつもは一方的に掴まれている感じだったからそうかこれが繋いでるってことだ
Signs of affection vary for different people, but what is it when it comes to our girl Yuki's world? She recently lost most of her ability to hear, but even though she's mostly isolated, her little world becomes a lot bigger when a boy named Itsumi Nagi enters the story. Through his little actions, her daily life feels a lot more eventful, and even though she can't hear, it feels like love songs are playing in the background.
Yuki 俺たち付き合おっか
This is a genuine and realistic love story that is so wholesome, you'll forget about there are so many messed up things happening in our world. What I love about it is that it shows us that despite having problems when it comes to communicating, sometimes people can still get their feelings through one another. If you want something to warm that cold weeb heart of yours, then watch this. Number 2, Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf.
おいお前が本当に堅牢ホロだというのなら証拠を見せてみろ。
この耳と尻尾では飽き足らず、主はわっちに狼の姿まで見せろと。
そうだ。
それは嫌じゃ。
Who doesn't know this anime? This is perhaps one of the best romance anime of all time, and now it's getting a remake. Kraft Lawrence is a merchant on the move, who arrives in the village of Pasloe with a cart full of fur pelts. The local tales tell of a pact made long ago between a villager and Hollow, a wolf deity. Hollow vowed to bless Pasloe with rich wheat harvests, but as years rolled by, these tales were slowly being forgotten.
わっちの旦那様の紐が太くなりますように。
The animation here feels much more modern compared to the original, but it actually makes it a lot better in my opinion. I found myself loving the series even more, and it might be the nostalgia talking, but there's no doubt that the romance and story in this one are elite. And it would have been number 1 too, if not for number 1, Dangers in My Heart Season 2.
どう？
死ぬほど可愛い。
The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. This series gives us all weebs some hope that one day the popular girl in class might notice us. After winter break, Ichikawa and Yamada meet again, and they're even closer. They're back at school, and their bond deepens even more to the point where it's getting hard to ignore the love that's growing between them.
もしかしてついてきたの？
いや、心配じゃないんだ。
Season 2 of The Dangers in My Heart was an incredible journey from start to finish, and I cannot believe how far we've come from that cringe beginning to this wholesome love story between two students. It just has everything. It's funny, the romance is heartwarming, and the plot is easy to follow. Because of all of that and more, The Dangers in My Heart Season 2 is number 1 in our list of the top 10 best romance anime of 2024 so far.